Hey guys, this is Anime Ball Z, and today we're going to be doing the first part of What If Naruto Was a Hybrid. As you know from our live stream, someone suggested this in the comments and I knew I just had to do it, so here we are with me doing the What If. I have nothing much to say in this introduction, so without further ado, let's get into the video.
Slick talker since a jit. Winter time, all the time, ooh, yeah. Look at the way that I move, swag. Disrespectful and I'm rude, okay. I had cocaine in the school.
What I want to do is make Naruto a born vampire and a born werewolf, which will make him a hybrid. I will give more details on both the vampire and the werewolf side now. For the vampire side, I will definitely give it to the Uzumaki. Their red hair symbolises what they crave, human blood. This clan turned into vampires through a huge seal called the Bloodman seal. It increased the clan's physical attributes tremendously, stopped aging once the age of 18 was reached, and it gave immortality, but to balance this, they were also given a huge urge and craving towards human blood. Also, they can die by a wooden stake to the heart, but if it is pulled out, they return to life. They grow large fangs which they use to pierce someone to suck their blood. The Uzumaki ended up putting in severe precautions from a young age to learn to handle the urges of human blood. More info on the vampires will be released as the What If continues. For the werewolf side, he will get it from the Namikaze side. I think that the Namikaze should be werewolves because in several series, werewolves are very fast. I'll say that every Namikaze holds the werewolf gene, but it has been dormant for several hundreds of years. The first werewolf, Ulrich Namikaze, possessed the power to shapeshift into a wolfman hybrid. He was known as the Wolfman throughout the ninja world. After this, his power was dormant for a long time but was still carried down the generations. Naruto will be a normal knucklehead ninja until he is about 12 years old, about the start of the series. Let's say this is about 2 or 3 months before the academy graduation exam. Naruto is running from a man as he stole meat, but he is eventually caught up to. Naruto turns and the guy shouts, "Give my meat back!" Naruto's eyes go crimson red and he shouts, "No!" The man stops acting aggressive, then Naruto starts hearing something. He starts to hear the blood in his body pulsating throughout his body. Naruto grows long fangs, then his eyeballs turn to black. The veins around his eyes go black too. He digs his fangs right into his neck and sucks his blood until he looks very pale. Naruto lets go and has blood all the way down his mouth. He grabs the meat and runs for his dear life. After this incident, Naruto has started to rapidly increase in physical ability. He has also found it much easier to use chakra, and he has insane chakra control compared to what he could do before. Naruto starts to have a huge craving towards human blood. When he is walking in the street, he can hear the blood in everyone's bodies. Naruto's will to protect everyone in the village and become Hokage is so much that if he doesn't look at anyone, he can survive. Now let's get to the academy graduation exam. When Naruto is brought down to perform the cloning technique, Naruto really excels. Naruto's knowledge about ninjas hasn't changed, but when he is told to make a clone, he easily makes 2 of them. Ruka claps for Naruto and sees that Naruto really has been trying hard. Naruto is still put into Team 7 because I think it would just change too much unnecessary things if we end up shuffling all of the teams. Because Naruto passes the exam, Mizuki can't really exploit him to get the scroll. Mizuki gets really angry at this spontaneous change and he ends up trying to take it himself. Because he doesn't have sexy jutsu, he gets caught by Hiruzen. Mizuki instantly finds the scroll, grabs the scroll, then zooms out of the window. Hiruzen quickly informs the Chunin about this and Ruka goes for Mizuki. Naruto wants to finally prove himself to the village and he follows after Ruka. When he sees Mizuki, he quickly hides behind a tree. He does this because Chunin are much stronger than him. He hears every little thing they both say and easily calculates what is going on. He hears kunai and shuriken being thrown, then he turns and sees Ruka on the wall with several cuts down his body. Naruto jumps down and shouts, "You'll pay for what you did to Ruka!" Naruto zooms at Mizuki, and for Ruka, he's a complete blur. He still is able to block though. Mizuki breaks his arm from the impact and he starts dodging every attack Naruto throws at him instead. Mizuki throws his huge shuriken at Naruto, but Naruto jumps and kicks the shuriken into Mizuki's leg. Mizuki grunts from the pain and blood starts dripping onto the shuriken. Naruto rushes Mizuki with very fast speeds and Mizuki aims a kunai at Naruto. Naruto grabs the shuriken, turns it round and stabs it into Mizuki's chest. Mizuki smiles and coughs blood. Mizuki then stabs a kunai into Naruto's heart. Naruto coughs blood and falls back. Naruto pulls the kunai from his heart and he heals in only a few seconds. His eyes go crimson red when he sees Mizuki's blood, then he zooms at Mizuki. He digs his large fangs into his neck and sucks his blood dry. Naruto quickly checks up on Ruka and finds out he's knocked out. Naruto looks down and sees human blood down Ruka's body. Naruto is about to suck Ruka's blood, but his connection to Ruka mentally blocks out the vampire urges. Naruto gets up and picks up Ruka, trying hard not to suck his blood. After this, he starts getting bad feelings. Naruto eventually grows claws on his hands and his eyes glow gold. He growls and howls into the air in pain. Naruto eventually transforms into a full wolf. I'll give some more details on the whole wolf thing now. So Naruto can only turn into a full-fledged wolf on the full moon, and only because he's a born werewolf and not a turned one. The size of the wolf is a little bigger than a normal grey wolf, but it is basically the same size. Naruto is also really fast in his form. At full speed, he's not that far away from being Mach 1. He's far, but he's not as far as you'd expect him to be. Naruto goes on a rampage in this form, and because of his vampirism, he's a blood-sucking wolf. He tramples onto a human in the middle of a forest, and he sucks his blood. He growls into the air and just starts rolling around the forest, pouncing on people for blood. When he returns back to normal, he is really, really cold. But he's kind of warm too from all the human blood he drank that night. When Naruto meets up with Team 7 on their first day, Naruto can hear everyone's blood pulsating through their bodies. Luckily enough for Naruto, because of his werewolf side, his blood urges have been suppressed a little. When Naruto is asked what he likes to eat, he says ramen, but really he loves bloody ramen. He probably doesn't like it as much now though. When they are told to meet together tomorrow, Naruto has been collecting bottles of blood because he hates killing people. He was only able to start doing this because of his new ability he found with his vampire power, Mind Compelling Jutsu, or Kokoro Shihai no Jutsu, roughly translating to controlling of the mind. Also sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. He drinks 2 of the bottles to warm him and keep him full for much longer. Naruto, after drinking the blood, drops to the floor and transforms into his partial shift state. He growls and his eyeballs turn to black and his fangs grow longer. This is his vampirism taking effect. His powers fade and now his powers have merged and amplified. Now he's much stronger. When Naruto returns the next day, he is fine and isn't really hungry at all. Naruto still has no control, so if he gets really angry, he'll lose control and lash out at Kakashi. Now let's get to the real bell test. As it commences, Naruto, because of his vampire and werewolf genes, he is a lot better at stealth. Naruto zooms away and to everyone he seems like the wind. Kakashi sees fog below his feet, then Naruto throws several kunai from the bushes with such immense speed that Kakashi has to actually catch a few instead of dodging them because it would take too long. Naruto runs out and throws a punch at Kakashi. Kakashi easily blocks and Naruto follows by pulling a kunai from his pouch. He uses it as a knife to try and slash Kakashi. Kakashi does the same disarming method in the series and puts the kunai to his head. Naruto smirks and quickly grabs the kunai easily, then puts it up to Kakashi's head. Naruto pulls it back and tries to stab him, but Kakashi grabs his arm and squeezes it, thinking that Naruto will drop the kunai. Naruto resists very well and his eyes glow gold, showing he's tapping into his werewolf powers. He pushes it into Kakashi and he pierces his skin. Kakashi is really confused from Naruto's monstrous strength, but he just jumps back and away. Naruto drops the kunai and falls to his knees. Sasuke advances closer to them, both to keep an eye on the battle. Naruto says to himself, "Oh no, the transformation." He puts his hand down and he slowly and painfully grows claws. Naruto screams in agony and shows his canines grow into huge fangs. His eyes glow gold and his eyeballs darken to black. He eventually fully shapeshifts into his partial shift state. He growls into the air, then runs right at Kakashi. To Sasuke and Sakura, he is a complete blur. Naruto throws a barrage of kunai at Kakashi and Kakashi gets stabbed by 2 and gets a cut to the side of the arm by another. Naruto kicks Kakashi in the stomach, then follows with a barrage of devastating attacks. Kakashi gets blown back by an uppercut, then Naruto zooms right back at him on all fours. He grabs a bell by pummeling Kakashi into the ground. Naruto starts to hear Kakashi's heartbeat raising and therefore pulsating through his body faster. Naruto tries to suck Kakashi's blood, but he ends up digging into wood. Kakashi runs away, but Naruto's sensory skills are so good that he easily tracks Kakashi. Naruto's claws attract to become much smaller and he retreats back into his base form, but he keeps his yellow eyes, black eyeballs and black veins as well as small fangs. Naruto says in a growly voice, "Over there." Sasuke pulls a kunai and they both run right at Kakashi. Naruto grabs Sasuke's arm and slingshots him right at Kakashi with insane speed. Sasuke throws several kunai, but Kakashi isn't reading a book, he's alert. He dodges all of the kunai, but Sasuke slams into him. Sasuke luckily grabs a bell that Naruto follows with a huge jump from the side of a tree trunk. He zooms at tremendous speeds and ends up headbutting Kakashi off of his feet and a good 10 feet back. Naruto lands and his powers completely fade. Sakura comes out and whispers to herself, "I just couldn't keep up." Naruto turns to her and says with golden yellow eyes, "I think I can change that for you." So that will conclude the first part of What If Naruto Was a Hybrid. If you liked this part, then please like and comment what you liked or something that I should improve on for the next part. If you really like this What If, then you can subscribe and put on post notifications to be told when the next parts of these What Ifs will be made with great accuracy. Thanks so much for watching and I'll see you in the next video.